Within exploratory analyses, there are a number of ways to create graphs within SPSS. When we click on the Graph tab, we can either use the Chart Builder, Graphboard Template Chooser, or the Legacy dialogues with specific graphs embedded. For this dataset, we create charts or graphs looking at univariate or single variables in the first instance. The Graphboard Template Chooser is a great way to look at single variables and determine which is the best chart to actually visualize that data. We know that variables that are qualitative or have certain categories such as nominal and ordinal variables like class rank, gender, even is the student an athlete, we notice that we get options such as bar graphs, pie charts, histograms, etc. The best choice to actually visualize these types of variables would be bar charts and pie charts. In terms of qualitative variables, we would like to showcase those categories, and hence these graphs are most appropriate. For quantitative or scale variables such as height, weight, even scores on English, reading, math tests, mile run time, etc., we notice that the options given usually state histogram or histogram with a normal distribution. This is because these are actual scaled variables which have a distribution, and in so doing, we can actually inspect to see if it matches or is close to a normal distribution for our assumptions later on in hypothesis tests. As it stands, this is a great way to actually inspect each variable individually to determine if there are any values which seem to be outliers or any specific categories that we would like to relabel. This is a very large part of exploratory analyses and should be taken seriously in the beginning of our analysis of our dataset. Next, we can look at building graphs from scratch. The chart builder is an excellent way to do this, where you may be able to specify specific variables on the Y and X axes. In terms of our data, we can actually see we have all the variables listed on the left and various charts in the gallery bar at the bottom of the screen. So we have bar charts, line charts, pie charts, scatter plots, histograms, etc. If we would like to inspect a graph looking at, for instance, a bar chart, we can drag the bar chart here, and in this case, we have the option to insert the specific variable of interest. Let's look at class rank. So we can drag class rank to the x-axis, and in this case, we can see we have the counts of each of the categories as we previously obtained. On the right, we can see we have the variable or statistic, and there is a drop-down box in which we can change that specific variable on the y-axis. So for instance, if we want to change the count to percentages, we can click on percentage and it gives us the percentages on the y-axis. The chart builder is a great way to customize charts based on colors, etc., and other options that may be of interest. We may also build bigger charts based on having more than one variable. For instance, let's look at dragging the clustered bar chart into the dialog box. Here, we have the freshman and sophomore, and we would like to label these by gender. So we can actually drag gender to the cluster on X. And this indicates to us the specific gender of the students. This grouping variable gives us leeway to now see the spread based on the specific genders.